Okay, today we have some Yao 5x5 example solves. So for reference, I average around 105 and I have a 104 PR average. So let's get right into it. Okay, so the scramble, you see this bar, and this bar in white. So you can make a 2x3 in 4 moves. You should always try to make a 2x3 from inspection, and I can also see that when I do DU, wide R, wide L, this piece isn't going to move, and then this piece will go down here. So solve the 2x3, and then we can connect these together, and then finally just match this up. And then before I do the last move, I'm gonna do a U to bring this down, and then we have this kind of formation where we can make the square, bring this down, and make a 2x3 like this. And then find the other pieces. This corner is here, the edge is here. And finally just insert the bar. And then going into the edges, I see these really nice pieces. And then we have this set up for us. And then these three. So that was actually really easy. Okay, and then the centers, for 5x5, you should just see what's right in front of you. So here I see these three, which you can just do an M prime to pair. And if you have something like this, I recommend you to just attach a corner center here to make a T. And then the great thing about having the T and Yao is that you can just use 2R or 3R moves to make the rest of the center. So here we have this, and then this is already here. And then I'm gonna remember that this is going in the back. And then since I remembered that, we can make this blue 2x3, like so. And then this kind of pattern is pretty common. You can do 3R, U2, 3R prime. And then luckily we got this orange 2x3, and then this is a pretty simple case, like so. Okay, and then the cross edge, this is here, we can just pair them, insert, and then do RU, R prime, U prime, RU, R, U prime, R2 to insert this without destroying the center. And then right into the edges, I see this yellow, red, and I see the last piece as well. I see this one. So even though like this is a lot of moves, it's better to have good flow. The yellow, blue, and finally this one. And then wide U2. Okay, so last 4 edges. This piece is, this step is surprisingly tricky to get fast at because you have a lot of options. But here I right away see that you can do M prime U2 and U2. So I'm just gonna do that real quick. And then I see whenever you have something like this where you can pair with one move, you can do cycles. So when you have the back left edge solved, R prime, U prime, R, and then cycles, and then you just have parity here. It's good to have parity instead of having to do L2E, because when you do L2E, a lot of cases you have to fix this cross afterwards. So just do the parity, free pair, and then pretty easy case. And here do triple unsexy and then sledge at the end to avoid the dot. OLO and then PLO. Okay, next white center looks good again. Again, we have this knight shape, so attach a corner to make a T. So here we can attach this one, and we can remember that these pieces are here. So I'll probably use this edge to make the 2x3 after making the T. So you can do F, white R prime, but that's a bit of an awkward set of moves. So instead I'm going to do an X prime and do D, white R prime. Well, D R prime, white F, yeah. So like that. And then you can use this to make the 2x3. And then complete this bar. And insert. And then we have this, we can make a bar right away. So bring both of them up, U and then down. And then these two. And finally, this bar. Pretty simple stuff. Okay, so here we have not so straightforward, but I'm probably gonna pair these two. So do an F. I like to use the DF spot to pair my cross edges, but there are exceptions. I see the last one here, so pair and then insert with a D prime, and then the last next one. This can be paired just like that, and then the next one's here. So here you insert with an F prime since it was an U. Here I see these two orange, and then the last one is here. Okay, and I saw this bar, so I can make a T like this, and then the edge is here. The corner is back here, so I can solve the rest of the green with just 2 gen, like that. And I see this bar can be connected. Okay, so this is also another important shape, this fish shape. If you see an edge here, you can connect it with the center and solve a 2x3 with just 2 gens. So here we have R2U, R2 prime, and then align the center. And then here, this is a bit of an awkward case, but you can use slice moves to make a bar like this, and then just insert the bar, and then make the blue 2x3, and then easy. Okay, now we have this. This is pretty lucky. You can do F, and then just slice, flip, slice. Okay, and then while I was doing that, I saw this, like this. So here you can do this without rotating. You can pair these two up like this, and then insert the last one using L moves, and pair, and then insert and take this out at the same time. Here I would probably just rotate again to insert this, and then I see this, and we have this, so insert with R moves this time, and then I saw these two pieces, so I will rotate again and insert with R moves, so that these can be paired. Okay, and then here we have a simple slice, flip, slice, but instead of doing rotate and D moves, you can do Y D prime, 3Y D prime, slice, flip, slice. Okay, and then here we see that these can be paired with one move, which means we can do cycles again. So insert this soft edge into this slot, slice, and then you just have a slice, flip, slice, and these pair. And then this is pretty simple after all. Soon, G prime. Make sure you do RUD for the G primes, or RUF for that one G prime. Okay, last one. This one doesn't look as good, but when you have like two corners like this, you can make a bar and then connect these two corners to make a T. So here I would probably do wide U2 and then put these corners in and then make a T and then make the 2x3 from that. So like that. That wasn't that good, but here we can make the last bar like that. This is really bad, but I would probably just go ahead and make this bar and then make the center bar with these two edge pieces. And then insert this one and then pair and pair this one. Okay, and then whenever you start cross edges, like the first Z rotation, you should already be looking for pieces. So I saw these two green, so do F, and then this can be paired with U2 like that, and then this last one is here like that, and then see orange pair here, so it's on the wrong side, so the U2. Okay, and then red, this last one's here. Okay, we see some options, so we have a half T, and then we also have a night shape. So I will probably do the blue one, but it doesn't really matter. So first I will do a U to make this vertical, so it's higher chance to be preserved. And I make a T like this, and do a 4 wide R2, complete the 2x3 like that. And here you want to pair this without breaking up this bar, so that's really just RU R prime. So find the last piece, insert like that. Here you have this. You can just kind of TPS spam to make the bar. So just do this, and to insert, you can either just slice moves, or what I like to do is I do this move, U2, R, and then back. And then you want to insert this without breaking this up. Okay, and then same trick again, and in this case, make sure last two centers use band TPS, because look ahead is very easy. Here I will probably just do slice with slice. Doing that means you don't have to do the special insert to preserve centers. And okay, so I just thought this is a pretty bad start, to be honest, but and then the last one's here, so, and then I also see this pair, so keep an eye for that. Okay, it's here, so I will insert using just a 2gen, and then do U2 D2, this one, and then this last one's here, and you don't need to rotate. Okay, don't see anything obvious, but I see this and this, so I will probably just do cycles. So to set up cycles, when you have 4 unsolved edges, you do this trigger, or U prime, or 2 U prime, or, and then do a Y prime. So we have this can be set up like this, and then this can pair with this like that, and then this one you can either set up the green yellow edge or the green red, but the non-sliced one is better. So I will set up like this, like that, and then we have NL2 case. Make sure you know those. They can be a good time saver. Okay, this is a really bad start, but just go like that. And then this case. So for F2L, I try to use R moves mostly, because even if you have to rotate, it's very consistent. Here you can just sledge. Here you can just sledge again. I also like to get edge control. So to get that, you can do this, right? And then COLO into H prime.